Hello, welcome to an astrological update for 2021 in January. The cosmic tone. The measure of intelligence is the ability to change, Albert Einstein said. This year is very different from 2020. It's better, but although it has its challenges, last year was dominated by an amplification of death, Pluto, and restriction, Saturn. There was an emphasis on cardinal signs, which are goal directed, and especially the top-down Capricorn and the individualistic Aries. There were lots of retrogrades, which meant slow moving and inner work and, stopping. This year, there's lots of movement. It's a transitional year, and its emphasis is on change, rebellion, social unrest. These are all themes of Uranus, because the major theme of 2021 is the Saturn in Aquarius square Uranus in Taurus, and that will be 3 times. And it even goes into next year. And this is the dance between the rebel and the stay practical. So they're very different energies. Saturn's principles are security and order and controlling limits, stable, regulating, conventional, cautious. Uranus is revolutionary, fast, urgent, unique, a sense of non-conforming, unstable, and deregulating. The signature of social unrest shows that the people who do not feel heard will challenge the old regime and the status quo. We will learn to enact change given the very structures of our limits of our own life. We began with a whole new social change at the end of last year on the winter solstice with the Jupiter conjunct Saturn in Aquarius. And this is these universal fixed, they're progressive sign, it's a technological sign, is the emphasize. Aquarian is the emphasize this year. We are moving from the correct power controls to radically reshaping and reforming society. Change is always slow. So we need to solve our problems through technology. The USA was born during a revolution, and we are now having the first Pluto return, which will be exact in 2022. But we're already in it. It is the transformation of government and the values of the United States. And this death rebirth is already in process. January is intense volatile year, which we've already seen. The corona death count is rising. And on January 6th, combative Mars left Aries. And when that rebellion was going on, Mars was 29 and Aries after 6 months in this dynamic, its own sign, dynamic place, and it moved into Taurus and became conjunct with Uranus. On that day, Pluto was conjunct Mercury and Capricorn in the heavens, and it was opposing the United States Mercury, reflecting power struggles, miscommunications, and catharsis. The world watched in horror as the government leaders incited and defended an attack on our democracy. Uranus and Mars in Taurus will be conjunct exact on Inauguration Day, January 20th. Black Moon Lilith will also be in the mix, and she doesn't like to follow rules. She was Adam's first wife in mythology, and she left because she didn't want to be under control, under his dominance. And so all this adds to the possibility of volatile anger. I pray that our leaders are safe, and as this is a signature of fierce combat. It also indicates violence, explosions, shakes down, earthquake, volcanoes. It is an intense day with these Taurus planets squaring the Sun, Saturn, and Jupiter in Aquarius. So let us pray. Please, God, let this bring action, truth, and freedom for the United States, and may our leaders be safe. Uranus then goes stationary direct on January 14th, which emphasizes everything radical, unexpected, revolutionary, extreme. So these are the potent forces right now. And on January 10th, we had slow-moving Eris standing still and going direct. This female warrior, activist, awakener represents people speaking up and demanding to be heard and to acknowledged. The new moon on January 12th at 9 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. So in other places it's on the 13th. Is conjunct deep Pluto, cathartic Pluto, and Saturn. This is going to be a big reality check. And it's so important in all new moons it's a new beginning to set intentions. But this one is huge and encompassing. And it's the beginning of a whole new cycle on a grander scale. But what's really beautiful is Hamaya. Hamaya is a spiritual dwarf planet that symbolizes rebirth and creativity and regeneration. So she is forming a T-square with this opposition. And what that means is that she's the higher octave of Neptune and Venus. And what that means is enormous creative energy for renewal. So as we watch the old crumble, we need to focus on how we can renew and revive our new humanitarian values. Neptune is in Pisces and has been for a while and is forming, they call it at the bends of the nodal axis. The nodal axis is a Gemini North node and Sagittarius South node. And this is the axis of disseminating information. And so with Neptune, illusion and delusion and confusion, we don't know what's real or what's not. There is so much falsity in the media and biasness, so that we really need to look at, to really go inside and find sources of news that are unbiased and that are reporting the truth. And then we must ride this wave of change as a witness. And this is, I'm speaking to myself because I'm so enraged by what's happening. We need to let the old go with love in our hearts. There's a tremendous amount of light coming in at this planet right now. And we are in a powerful evolutionary cycle. So, and what we need now is new models. And the goddess warrior on the hero's journey is the perfect model to awaken. It's balanced, it's integrated. And to be a goddess means just to remember that you have the divine light within. It's being loving and compassionate and allowing and accepting others. To be a warrior means to be intentional and present and taking responsibility, to commit to your process and your spiritual goals. And the hero's journey, based on Joseph Campbell's classic book, Hero with 1,000 Faces, gives a step-by-step process to awakening. I've been writing a series of books called A Toolkit for Awakening, which is based on the hero's journey and the goddess warrior, and they're coming out soon. So let's decide to embody love and presence. You don't need the labels, and ride this transformational phase with positive change. Be a witness, watch it, but don't merge with it. And I want to thank you for listening. And if you would like to get this all written into your inbox, please sign up for my newsletter and join with like-minded other people. And prayer and contemplation over this inauguration and for progressive movement in the world at this time. I send you many blessings and thank you so much for listening, and have a wonderful new year.